Hello and welcome to Is This Your Card? Today we're going to be looking at the Druid spell, Nourish. Nourish is a 5-cost card that either gives you 2 mana crystals or draws you 3 cards. Nourish plays to that age-old Druid style of choosing cards and card effects, and it does that really nicely. Unlike a lot of other cards that draw cards, it gels quite a generous number. I would honestly say that 3 is the perfect number to draw because something like Sprint, which draws 4, can be a little bit too much. 3 is a nice number that draws about a tenth of your deck for 5 mana. It's the right sort of balance when it comes to drawing. Drawing 1 card is alright, drawing 2 is pretty good, drawing 3 is just about perfect, drawing 4 or higher, little bit too risky if you ask me. You run the risk of just overflowing your hand. Nourish is 5 mana after all, so you're probably going to only play that card this turn. You'll gain 2 cards from using this card just to draw cards, which is pretty nice. As for the mana crystals, it depends. Really, you need to have Nourish on turn 5 and have something nice to play on turn 8 if you're going to use Nourish for mana crystals. Almost all of the time, I was using it to draw cards unless it was in a more set situation where the mana crystals were definitely going to be useful, simply because the cards are more useful. Having 3 extra cards in your hand that could do anything you need to is more reliable than just having 2 more mana, unless you have something in your hand that would benefit from that kind of acceleration. Nourish is really good in decks that focus on acceleration, or that focus on just pretty much anything. Nourish is excellent draw. Plus, it's pretty damn good for its cost. You gain permanent 2 mana for 5 mana? That's damn good. That's not quite as good as 2 Wild Growths, but it's only 1 card, so you can understand that. Plus, drawing 3 cards for 5 mana, I can't think of a single card that works in a similar way other than Sprint, which is a straight up draw 4 cards for 7. So you get 1 card less for 2 more mana. In truth though, Nourish is just pretty good. It's reliable even in the early game or even in the late game. It can be used nicely to cement you that early advantage of those extra mana crystals to spring up on a weaker opponent, or it can be used just to draw you some extra cards. And to be honest, drawing the extra cards is probably what you'll pick most of the time, but those mana crystals are situationally very good. Nourish is a nice card. It could be a game winner, it could not be. By itself, it's maybe a little bit expensive for my liking, but for what it does and how it does it, I would say there are definitely worse cards.